trying to be rude, but I can smell the alcohol on your breaths. So I'm sure you've probably heard some kind of rumor. Have you heard that there are ghost ships? Have you heard that they are living? What have you heard?
Well, a couple of gents in the pub we just came from were tossing around one of those flyers, making quite the jest of your rumors of undead.
Have you haven't heard the rumor of the crazy man that was found? That is something that you haven't heard in the drinking house yet?
Nope. Just rub that belly of the goblin in and he laughs.
Oh, you're talking about someone else, Romy says.
Oh, the only thing that I've really heard of was this naked guy clicking spoons in a tavern and being arrested. I was supposed to see him and giving the blessings of Kelemvor, but he had already been released. So he's a lost soul. He kind of fits your description as he looks over at you, Omi. But he seems like, I'm sure it's not you. You seem to be a normal type of feller.
And with that,
it can't be me as I slowly slide my spoons back into the back of my pocket.
and with that, Marquesh kind of swings his warhammer around a little bit and smacks his tin cup into scratch and it dings. One and the same, my friend. One and the same. Quite a legend here.
This is yesterday, a man from one of the small hamlets here on the Moonsea coast. 2 days ago, his town was raided, so he was picked up yesterday. But it seems like he was picked up outside of the city, and he was raving about some type of Draco Lich, some type of undead dragon, and he was clearly insane. And this man, he was delivered. He was supposed to be in our care as well. But the man, I did, try to speak with him, and I tried to consult him and give him guidance from Kelemvor. But the mind's man is this man's mind is very unstable at the moment. I almost think that his mind is gone altogether, and it could take some time for his mind to recover, if it would even recover at all. But the other acolytes at our temple, they are keeping him restrained at the moment. So, I mean, possibly you could maybe talk to him, and maybe you would have some better luck with this crazy man as well. I'm just concerned that the Knights of the Black Fist, as they dropped him off, I tried to give them more warning of this, and they just take no heed to any kind of warning. The Black Fist are somewhat concerned, but seeing that Flan is so large, they just seem that they're not taking it serious enough. But I think that it looks like there's some type of pattern. It seems like these attacks are happening every so many days, and it seems like these towns are. Oh, sorry, I dropped my glass here as we're still in the tavern listening to music. So let me get some different sounds going on. I apologize, guys. Ooh, whoa, oh.
It is a lovely graveyard.
It is. It is.
Mellow music.
It is. What a horrible DM. Bad transition of ambient sounds. Wow. Sorry, guys. So, like he says, the Black Fists are just not taking this seriously.
You said what makes you believe these attacks are happening in a pattern?
Well, it seems like these attacks are happening around every 3 to 4 days. And, all of these coastal areas that are being attacked, it seems like they are around the same distance to one another. Just as the rumors say, looking at the map of the Moon Sea area. And then, he pulls out his map and says, see, this location, this location, this location, they've all been hit. But then there's, small locations between them and whatnot. And he says that it seems to be following some type of trend or some type of pattern.
And what he's pointing out on the map, is it starting at one point moving closer to Flan, or are they kind of jumping around?
No, he says no. They are, as you can see, they are moving towards Flan, and that's, being that myself and my other brothers of the temple, we do not like to meddle in the spider web of affairs that this, the politics of this town, of this city. So my brothers and I, believe we should act. We should try to motivate the population to take heed and prepare for any type of attack. Like I said, the Blackfish show a little bit of concern, but they just don't think anything is going to happen.
Yeah, myself, I originate from Hillsfar across the Moon Sea, so I appreciate that travelling into Flan from other places like that is going to require the travel across the sea itself.
Yeah.
If there's people attacking this, makes it unsafe for people travelling across, and also for merchants that are maybe going back and forth, wishing to may, yes, definitely harm the town if we're not getting the trade in and the goods in that we require. I know there is a temple in town that is currently requiring extra provisions for the rebuild that's undergoing. So yeah, I can see where this is going. Yes, I'm happy to lend my support on this venture. I think it's quite a good thing for the town.
It would be, and especially these rumors also consist of ghost skeletons and even a lich. A lich, that is the evilest of all undead. It is just unfathomable to think of what would happen if that would come here to Flan, especially if we are not prepared. I mean, these sorts of undead are extremely rare, but we can't take that chance.
I'm going to say it again under my breath. They didn't seem too rare under Sockle Keep.
Sockle Keep? What's his what happened with that lighthouse? Are you the adventurers that got the lighthouse working again?
One and the same.
Oh, I've got some very talented adventurers in front of me. I am honored to be in your presence. And he walks over to his bag, and you hear some glass kind of clicking around, and he hands everyone one healing potion. And he says, "This is thanks on behalf of the city of Flan, and hopefully this would aid you in any kind of journey that you could find out more about these ghost ships or these pirate ships." So you guys can go ahead and add another healing potion to your character sheet.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You never have enough of these.
Oh, and in fact, you're welcome to keep the potions, even if you do not even use them during your adventures or your escapades. Feel free to keep them for as long as you need them.
How'd you come by these potions?
Oh, we make them from time to time in the temple,
So we should
along
be
with
able to
other
stop
brews
by?
as well. Sure, absolutely. If you'd like to follow me back to the temple, I can actually secure you some horses to use on your travels along the coast.
Well,
And
should make
these,
things
yeah, it should make things much easier for you. And I just want to tell you that these horses are a loan, and please do not lose them, because you will have to compensate us for them. We run a very tight budget. We don't have a lot of income, only from the few potions that we sell and the other fine breweries that the brothers and I can produce. So.
Very good. And just as a point of clarification, just to make sure, the crazy guy, he was taken to the temple or by the black card?
He was taken, yes, the madman. oh, I hate to call him a madman, but yes, he was taken to the Temple of Kelemvor. He is under watch right now.
Perhaps we could attempt to speak with this man as we follow him back. I'd look to the group and say, does anyone else object?
Yes.
Not at all, not at all. I think it's good.
Yes, if you find anything out, please let me know. We were not able to get much out of the disturbed man. Hopefully you can, but please be gentle with him. He is in a very delicate state right now.
Let's go check this out, guys.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Excuse me. What is the total
Yes.
distance? What do you estimate the total distance of the coast of this phenomena happening?
Well, let's see. Look at the keep. We'll just say that it's quite a few miles. I don't know what maybe 100 miles or so. I would say maybe about 100 miles.
Okay.
That is why, my friends, I am giving you the horses. Please keep them fed. Please keep them watered. So, does anyone here worship Kelemvor?
Don't.
No.
Unfortunately for you guys. Yeah, Dave, I worship Kelemvor. I'm just kidding.
Of course, it's Tyr's new name, isn't it?
I just changed my religion.
So everybody gets a potion apiece. You can add that to your sheet. And he thanks you for helping out and help spreading the word of this violence that is definitely heading this way towards Flan.
How far away is his temple?
Oh, it's just in Flan, wherever you want it to be.
Oh, on the way there, I just want to talk to him a little bit about what his group's suggestions are on where we go and seek. Where do they think the next attack will be based on this pattern he talks about, and what they would like us to do or what they expect us to do.
This is one of the lady knights of the Black Fist was the one who actually brought this poor soul into us. She was in quite a hurry, so maybe you could also check some of the guardhouses around and maybe find her. I believe she had a dirty blonde type of hair, really short, almost as short as a man's hair, cut. But maybe if you were to find her, maybe one of the brothers actually know her. I do not know. But maybe, I believe Acolyte Eldon is on duty now at the temple. And maybe he would be able to give you a little bit more information. So I really do not know. I like to stay out of all of the politics, and that is why I stay here in the graveyard and tend to this beautiful and sacred place.
Alright, guys, to the mystery machine.
We have to go to the general store too.
So as well, are we stopping by the temple first and talking to the crazy guy?
Yeah, but I just mean we gotta stop at the general store and get some supplies. Cause we gotta get feed for the horse.
Well, you can, there's plenty of grassy knolls and stuff along the way, so you'll be able to let the horses graze that way. And there's plenty of water. You've got the entire Moon Sea that's fresh water. They can also drink out of the Moon Sea. So you're set for food wise. For the horses, anyway. But if there's any kind of supplies that you guys want, you guys can make a really quick pit stop and just put on your sheet whatever you want, deduct the gold, and yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah, so I'd like to, before we head out of town, I'd like to talk to the female guard that found the crazy guy that you just talked about, and the crazy guy.
Yeah, well, the crazy guy's at the temple, and it's like what you were just told by Yovir is one of the brothers is on duty at the moment. His name is Eldon, Brother Eldon Mimn. He could probably give you more information on this guard, because as Yovir had told you, he was not. He had only heard and tried to speak to this guy after the fact that he was already brought to the temple, and he was dropped off by this female knight of the Black Fist. So yeah, you're to kill both stones with two birds with one stone, pretty much the temple. And plus, Yovir was going to escort you to the temple anyway, so you could get your horses, your transportation. Right. So yeah, he guides you, and whoever needs to stop along the way can pick up whatever you need real quick, add it to your sheet, and you guys make it to the temple. So you're here at the temple.
All right. So where's Brother Min?
So when you get to the temple, Yovir, he escorts you to the temple, and he wishes you farewell, wishes you luck, and if you have any information, please let him know, or one of the brothers that are on duty at the temple. And he says he must return back to the Valhingen graveyard to finish the task of the day. So as you're going through this small temple, it's actually quite beautiful. It's definitely maintained like the graveyard. And as you're being escorted through this place, you can see that there is an open window, no glass. And you can hear strange noises like yip, 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 yep. That's all you hear. And you're kind of looking around, and it's kind of echoing out through this place. And as you get by this open-aired window, you can see that there is a disheveled man sitting there, his hair all messed up, and he's tied down to a chair. And on his face, he's got all kinds of really bad, deep scratches. And he's got dried blood around them and whatnot. His hands are obviously tied down to the chair, and his hands are wrapped with these actually quite bloody bandages. And as you look at him, his eyes are darting around all over the room, and he just keeps yelling, "Yip, yip, 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 yip," and he just keeps continuing to do that. And as Yovir, he leaves you. He kind of nods towards another acolyte in gray robes. He's working on this man that's strapped down in a chair, and he's in the process of starting to change the linens and stuff on the bed. You can see some restraints as well. They're dangling from the sides of the headboard and whatnot, and the baseboard. And as you guys enter, he kind of nods at Yovir. Yovir walks back off, and he comes up to you and he says, "Greetings, my friends. I am Acolyte Eldon. What may I do for you?"
It would appear this is the gentleman we need to talk to. Looks to be, for me, that the wounds are self-inflicted.
The wounds of the man, yes, some of them are. I have been in charge of this poor man's care since last night, since he was brought to us, and he's been having quite a bit of, I would say, it seems like he's been having these visions, and he has these bouts of extreme violence. And as like you said, some of these wounds are self-inflicted, and as he has kind of gone into these tirades, he does wound himself a little bit more, and thus, unfortunately, we've had to restrain him. I mean, he has given himself these deep gouge claws in his face, and then after he would just dig into his face, and the skin would just literally just kind of shred away, he started to chew his own fingers. And I tried to stop the man from hurting himself, and he just would not stop, so that's why we had to restrain him. But if you do talk to this poor man, please, I really strongly discourage you from removing any of his restraints, because he's very strong in this state, and several brothers, several of my fellow acolytes, we had to hold him down to get him restrained. So please, be gentle with him. But he's, I've heard him, as you could plainly see, the man is not in a correct mental state, and he's been yelling yip and yippee, and he's been saying something. I overheard him speak about eyes of the Draco-Lish. He was saying other things about his village being destroyed, but little beyond that. We don't know who the man is. We don't know what his name is. We don't know what all happened to him, only that his mind's gone, and we've kind of given him the nickname of Yip. So maybe he'll answer to you.
Have you heard the name of his village? Has he said that at all?
He just said village. He didn't give us any names or anything like that. He just, like I said, he just simply arrived on the outskirts of town near the graveyard, and he was just wandering on the road from the west, walking towards Flan. He already had some wounds that we were told by one of the knights of the Blackfist had found him on the road. She had mentioned that his wounds probably looked about a day old or so, and she brought him here. And she I don't think I really remember her name, but I remember that she had blonde hair, and it was kind of streaked with some gray. And as we took the man in, he started drinking, he started eating a little bit, and this lady knight, she tried to interact with Yip, and it did not go very well. And Yip actually began raving very loudly, and this is all when the knight was trying to question him. And then he eventually began barking like a dog. He got on all four, started barking like a dog, and then tried to chase after the knight on his hands and knees and tried to bite her. So she just called him a reckless, crazy fool, and she just gave up and left. So we just call him Yip, because all he does is do barking noises and yip. That's all he does. And a couple of times I heard him talking about the eyes of the Draco-Lich, and also he mentioned his village was destroyed.
Have you done anything other than restrain him? Have you tried any things of magical nature to cure him of this?
We're all out of electricity, so we can't shock treat him. But I'm just kidding.
Yeah, understood. They say next option's lobotomy.
We have not tried any kind of magic. We've tried not to get into any kind of open affairs. We're a very passive people. We do not like to get involved with the town's affairs and all of the other nobles that like to use magic and whatnot. We would like to try to remedy this naturally. But I don't know, I fear that he may not be able to come back to reality.
Well, if you haven't had much success after a week, I suggest you seeking the help of a cleric or someone of divine nature. I'm more curious about the guard, and I'd like to know maybe where I might be able to find more information about her. I'd like to know the man's state when she found him and kind of his demeanor since.
Yes, you could probably find her at, I would say, one of the guard, maybe one of the guard stations on the outskirts of town. That would be the best bet that I would say to you. I did not get her name, unfortunately.
I'll look over to Shen, and Shen, I believe you're the only cleric today, so anything that you might be able to provide this man to ease the suffering?
I may be able to cure his physical wounds, but I don't believe I can do anything for his
And he starts to go into like a short little spat. Yip, yip. The eyes. The eyes. And he starts to try to pull the restraints. He's trying to like free himself. And the chair is just kind of rocking around.
I've got the cure here, guys, as I pull out the spoons and start playing.
I walk away, just shaking my head.
Music calms the savage beast.
Oh my goodness. There was rumors of a gentleman the other night that was taken to jail that we were supposed to pray for, and he was clicking spoons and ended up naked. Was that
Continue
you,
to pray for him.
my
No,
father?
that's where I got this idea from.
Oh my goodness! If you haven't heard that story, it is just amazing. He was supposedly wearing some type of chastity belt, and it came off, and he was naked playing spoons in the tavern, and the knights came and got him, and they took him there, and before that, myself or one of the other brothers were going to try to speak to him and help him. He was already gone.
I think they've actually nicknamed him the Bran Muffin Spooner.
I did not hear that. The Bran Muffin.
Yeah, it's all over
Spooner.
town. Really should get around more.
Well, there's much work to do here at the temple, as you can see.
So, yeah, continue to pray for the Bran Muffin Spooner. That
Oh,
old boy could use as much help as you can get.
I will. Well, I am going to change the linens to the bed and also grab some more bandages for Yip here. So you are... feel free to talk with Yip as much as you want. Hopefully you can get something out of him.
Who wants to talk to him?
Not all at once now.
So I'll look over to him and yell, "Hey, Yip!" See if there's any reaction.
He just his eyes are kind of, sharply moving all around the room, and he looks over toward you and he says, "Yip! Yip! Yip! Roof! Roof! Roof!" And he's barking like a dog also from time to time. And he's kind of putting his hands up, panting. Yeah! Yip! Yip! Yip!
So I look at him and say, "Yip, have you seen the eyes today?"
Oh, the eyes! Roof, roof, yes, the eyes of the Dracolish. It sees me, it is coming, yes, it sees me, yes, it sees town, village gone, yip, yeah.
I've got an idea, guys.
Does it involve taking his head off? Because that's all I got.
More brown muffins.
I'm going to ask Yip, is this what you've seen? As I cast a minor illusion and create a Dracolich in front of him.
His eyes get really big, and then he closes them, and he says, "Village destroyed! Oh! Dog, run! And he's like trying to mimic like running as he's sitting in the chair.
This is what destroyed your village?
Yep. This eye see me, looking right at me. It sees me sitting here.
I'll dispel the illusion.
He's still looking around. Eyes of the Dracolish. But as you guys are kind of looking at him, he looks like he's definitely probably the farmer type. He's just he's got you can see that he's kind of dirty, and the type of attire that he's wearing would probably suggest that he's probably some type of farmer. I mean, that's just flat out being just visually looking at him.
I've got nothing more to offer for this man's too far gone. And I will go to, is it Min or someone else that might be able to see what else the temple has for sale?
The temple? There's really nothing.
So they have some potions and some like ale or brew.
Yeah, they have. There is sort of like a little, I guess you could say, a donation bowl towards the front of the temple, and it has a small little